we're in an awkward position. We are literally both of us folded in half. We're in an awkward position where our honest reviews of how we felt about the movie, because everything's so polarized, we have to now be champions of something instead of just like being able to say, I really enjoyed this, mainly because what's coming back, and it's not just us, obviously, anyone that's out there with a positive opinion about Supergirl is getting a lot of pushback, because people can and should be able to state their opinion of like, I didn't like it. That's fine. But it is so black or white to the point of, you liked it, you are stupid, you are a shill, what is your problem, did you see the same movie, the level of emotion behind people stating whether they liked or didn't like this thing are ridiculous. I haven't seen this. It's getting that way with a lot of things, but I just haven't seen it be this extreme. And we are not, we're not out there clickbaiting and trying to like gin up stuff by going hardcore into like saying, if we love something, like you did your immediate reaction video, which was so you and absolutely true to Chad. He wasn't like going like, best thing I've ever seen, thank you for the check, Mr. Gunn. You know what? It wasn't like that at all. It was very honest. And then I came in with mine. But people that sit there going like, I thought it was okay, I didn't really like it that much. Oh, wait, I have to do a show. This thing is the biggest piece of garbage. I opened the window just to get some fresh air because Supergirl is stinking up my apartment. I'm looking over there at you, Supergirl. Yeah, I smell you. Hell, it is the worst thing. When they invented film, if only they had known Supergirl was coming, they would have burned that shit right at the beginning. You never would have gotten a movie because Supergirl, they would have known was coming. And they'd be like, no. It would have been a flip book and it still would have been shit. The extremes are just ridiculous. So today, Chad and I in advance kind of just were like, we should just talk. We should just talk to the folks that we're hearing from, good and bad.
I'm seeing this now the past couple of days. There's been a lot of channels publishing videos expressing the same thing we've been expressing, which is just total befuddlement at the critical backlash that's happening. There's a lot of comic nerds who are being rightfully, critical and nitpicky of the film, as everybody's right to be, especially the fans who are huge fans of the original comic, the Tom King original comic run. That this story is based on. A lot of them came in with expectations based on that, which is totally understandable. Those are the people those criticisms I think are totally reasonable.
Yes.
It's what, like you were saying, it's the other stuff. Let me say this one thing. I'll hand the floor back. There was a funny comment that happened.
I don't want that floor. I've seen it.
This was very, very, I think, emblematic of the confusion that's going on right now because of how crazy everything is with the criticism. I was in the comments and was responding to somebody who was agreeing with me. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the critics, what the bashing it's getting. And I said, it doesn't. I said something like, doesn't deserve the vicious lashing it's getting from critics. It's really strange. And this guy comes in and replies to me and says, like, he quotes me saying, doesn't deserve the vicious lashing. He says, I have to disagree. And he goes on to say, he goes on to basically give his review, which is a totally sober, reasonable assessment of the film. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm talking about, man. That's not a vicious lashing. That's a sober assessment. That's your opinion. That's cool. It's not what we're talking about. There are people coming into the comments who are just basically saying hot garbage and then leaving and not saying anything else. The worst thing ever.
Sometimes when they spell hot garbage, they do it with two T's.
Two T's.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about. I mean, literally just someone said hot garbage.
I suspect most of those commenters they're just saying, they're dropping their crappy comment and leaving. I don't think any of them actually have seen the movie. Those people. That's my theory anyway. A lot of them too will leave. There's like one like on their comment, because I think they're liking their own comment before they leave. I have no way to verify this. It's just my theory. It's like dropping a nickel in the tip jar.
And again, I am not past thinking that, especially the really brief ones, and there may be bots. There may be bots is the name of my my new album. Yeah, there may be bots. I mean, I can't predict, and I don't think that there's anything really conspiratorial, but I do think there are people jumping on bandwagons for reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with the actual thing at hand.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, and what I'll say is I see very valid criticisms about the movie in our comment section, and I have gone and looked at, and you watch a lot of reaction stuff, or I think you know, comics fan stuff, and I just don't spend as much time on YouTube, but this has gotten me curious.
Mm-hmm.
So now my algorithm on YouTube is now suggesting every like review of Supergirl,
perhaps
positive
like
or
this,
negative.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's like, you will want to see this. And it's literally a screenshot of someone like going, and behind it'll be like, James Gunn, what happened? Or what, it'll be like, it's like someone going like, and then it's like, Supergirl destroyed kittens, you know, whatever and you're like, okay.
One mistake I think some of these guys are making, just real quickly, because I've noticed that they're like, this was an example. Slav's Free Talk is a channel I've been subscribed to for a long time. He loved the movie, and he came out with his review a couple of days ago, also expressing, like everybody is, like, befuddlement about the criticism. But him, like a lot of other reviewers who do like the movie, they're doing their thumbnail like, is it good?
Yeah.
Which I don't think right now is the right. I think they would get actually more clicks at this point. I know the strategy that the YouTube creating confusion, or not confusion, creating curiosity. That is a tried and true YouTube method to try to get people to click. But I think in this case, there are so many people like the people in our comments who are out there looking. Please, does anybody like this movie? Please tell me I'm not crazy for loving this movie. And so. Anyway, I think more people need.
I appreciate it, and
we need more connection.
Also, to the folks out there that commented all for us, thank you. And some of them have been exactly what I would expect or would want, even if it was just like a friend that I met on the street. There are a few comments like going, "Hey guys, yeah, I like all your stuff. Here's the thing, though. It's like, yeah, I really wanted to like it, and it disappointed me." Or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there going, thanks. I mean, sometimes I do want to know why. You know, I would love to talk to you at greater length as to why you didn't like it. But at the same time, I appreciate those, because that sounds like I gave it a shot. I went to go see it. Based on that, I just didn't like it the way you guys did, or I had problems with it. And there are people that will go into it saying, that's not my Supergirl. I mean, this sounds like me with, like, you know, the Snyder films. It's like there's some good stuff in there, here and there, but that's not my Superman. And I understand that kind of stuff. Or they're saying like, what you were talking about. I loved that graphic novel. And if they had called this something else, or if they had, you know, not, I kind of would, with those people that are like, it failed as an adaptation. I sit there and I go, okay, I understand. I mean, you can look at Infinity War and Endgame as strangely an adaptation of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline in Marvel Comics. And boy, does it have so little to do with how that turned out. And no one was like going, oh my God, you destroyed something. But it wasn't stating we are here to, you know, adapt that storyline. So I get that too, because you loved the source material and you went in and you went, oh, they really changed a lot. Well, they did. So in other words, when you are stating as not even a reviewer, just a commenter, if you're stating your reasons, like, I didn't like it for this, and some people like felt that it was kind of janky and that it was too short, and we know that they cut 24 minutes out of it apparently. Maybe the Blu-ray will restore some of that stuff and make you happy. What was on screen is what we got, and the two of us, you know, enjoyed it, while clearly not stating it's a masterpiece. That's why I always say, or was saying at the beginning, we are in this weird position, as are any of the people on the internet who are critical and so forth, of having to champion something that I admit this is not Citizen Kane, which is like, you always use that as the example. This is
Right.
not the best film ever made. This satisfied me as a fan of the character and the DCU. It satisfied me on just a film going level, and I walked out in happy. If you didn't, that is fine. But yes, the thing is, what I don't have respect for is what you were talking about, Chad. There are people that are stating opinions loudly, strongly, virulent opinions who clearly haven't even seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand that, where it's like, and that are so smug and satisfied, like, well, that's the nail in Gunn's coffin.
Yeah. And Screen Crush, I was talking about Ryan Airy. He put out Screen Crush. He's the main guy in Screen Crush. They put out a couple videos a couple days ago, breakdown of the ending of the movie, and then their usual, Easter egg, 120 Easter eggs they found.
Oh, he's that guy.
Yeah, but if you listen to his video, you can tell that he liked the movie. He's very positive on it. And they finally Screen Crushed today. I was like, you got to say more than that. And it's really this week, the beginning of this week, all these channels are coming out with what we're doing now, like talking about the critical backlash and everything, and what issues people had with it. But Ryan was saying that he was really frustrated early on, even before the movie came out. He could see what was happening, that people were tearing it to shreds before anybody had actually ever seen it.
It's very true.
There was a review that came out in Variety that he was trashing on Twitter that I didn't read, but he said he couldn't even finish reading it because he got so angry reading it, that because the reviewers being so condescending to comics fans and everything. It was just like, this is so irresponsible, this type of journalism. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
But no, I'll say that is true of anything that's comics related. That's something that we as fans, that's the burden, is that we still, and that's something we share even with the people that didn't like Supergirl but are comics fans. The thing is, even at this late date, we feel the need to defend the very thing that birthed these stories. So yeah, I agree. You get, we are still dealing with film critics who are above. They are so above a genre. And weirdly, they can be very selective. Like, they might go, this is a horror masterpiece. And they go, ah, yes. And you're like going, well, okay, so you're cool with the thing that had the vampires in it. But, the thing that has a guy with, like, superpowers and a cape, you're going to literally put in your review, bam, biff, and do, like, condescending references to, like, well, the underwear fighter crowd is going to be really happy with this latest installment of guy who can shoot rays out of his eyes versus dude who dresses in a tin can, whatever. So the superiority thing is something that we all have to fight, and it's weird that we're doing that at this point. Since 2008's Iron Man was the unlikely hit, and we've been dealing with really good superhero content. Some of them are films that I would put up with great drama films and great whatever comedies and musicals and all that stuff, because they are just great movies, period. And that's a deal. But that's a whole other topic. I just think that we should not be in a position, those of us who are positive about it, to have to go out there waving a banner. We should be able to say, we really enjoyed it. Maybe go see it a second time. Maybe buy the Blu-ray. We don't have a responsibility to Warner Brothers or James Gunn. Even though I've liked a lot of the things he's done, I've also had problems with things he's done. Warner Brothers is a corporation, so them, says a former employee of Warner Brothers. Yes, that's me being a shill. I was a tour guide at Warner Brothers Studios for 2 years. Yeah, that's why I come out, because I'm still getting checks. They're like, hey, Brenda, tell me you like this thing we just made. Yeah, I'll give it a go, WB.
That every YouTuber has been dealing with the shill accusations for ages. They all have to. And the one plus about this, the one silver lining, is that whenever these assholes start appearing in the comments, it's just a side effect of the fact that we're getting more reach. The video is actually
Oh,
reaching more
sure.
people.
Okay.
Invariably, when we get a bigger audience, in come the assholes. And they're always a very small percentage compared to most of our
I like
comments.
that about you, Chad. You see the positives.
99% of our comments are very positive.
Yeah.
It's true.
And you're right. The majority of what we're hearing from people in our comments is that I'm on board with you guys. I really enjoyed it. I took my kids, blah, blah, blah.
Or even if they didn't like it, they're saying, well, it wasn't for me. There's some of those as well.
Those are the people that I was just saying, like, I appreciate that. I really do like that, because that's conversational.
Exactly.
Conversation is the important thing, because it's an open-ended deal. You might convince me to like the movie slightly less, or I might convince you to like the movie slightly more because we've had a conversation and I've pointed things out. That's great. I love a conversation. But people that come in and go, nope, and just like, here's my bomb that I dropped about absolute shit, hot garbage, whatever it is. And oh man, those videos that get recommended, and the ones I'm not even clicking on, when you're talking about clickbait, it is, you just read the headlines and look at those little thumbnails, and it is just like, there's what's that Magnus guy?
Yeah, Tyron Magnus.
Boy,
yeah, he's like the Alex. What's the guy? Alex. What was the guy?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones of comic book criticism.
It's very accurate.
It's just his brand.
His brand is hyper negativity. But the thing of it's the enjoyment, like, sort of people. It's the Schadenfreude. I can't argue that it is underperformed. That Supergirl, for whatever reason, people are not going to go see it. But what I did like is, like, they're going, oh man, the box office was ruled by Minions, which made 70 million. And I'm like, oh, and Supergirl made, like 40 or 50. And you're like, yeah, why is one considered a success? The other one is literally the worst disaster to ever hit film, apparently. And the gap isn't that huge, but regardless.
Yeah, even John Campea has softened his rhetoric this week, which I found rather amusing, because he was delightfully just pounding on it, at the day it came out, in his immediate reaction and the review that he did the day or two later. He was saying it was his thing was, this is a bad movie, and it's slightly better than terrible. Just such a classic Campea line. And I was like, dude, come on. Now I watched this video he came out the other day where he's talking about the box office returns and concerns about the DCU, and he said he's softened his rhetoric now, and now he's saying, well, it's poor. It's for poor. Some parts of it work, and some of you guys liked it. I understand. He also pointed out that the audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes is high, much higher. But the thing he was saying, which was about, and this I've seen these videos pop up too, like, what happens now? What shall become of the DCU with the failure of Supergirl? This kind of over dramatic concern, which it's valid concern, obviously. But he was saying, and John Campea has always been really good about industry analysis and stuff. That's kind of his bag. And he said like, hey, I didn't like the movie, but this is not the end. This is nowhere near the end for the DCU. That's like, because he was comparing when the MCU was just getting started. This is, this Supergirl's the second cinematic entry in the DCU. For the MCU, the second cinematic, a lot of people probably forgotten this. The second one was the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, which didn't do very well. It did not get very good reviews.
And yet I like.
Yeah, but that one too, it was like critics, audience rating was higher. But he pointed out, he said, the audience rating for Supergirl is higher than it was for Incredible Hulk, at least now at this point. So he was happily kind of pointing that out. See, I'm not hating on it that much, guys.
I mean, it's good that he's opening up a little bit and without the knee jerk. The knee jerk has been so extreme. It is ridiculous. And what I don't understand in the people who are delightedly jumping to absolute teardown and going like, this is shit. I don't see, and they will do that kind of comparison thing where they say this is the end of not just the DCU but superhero movies, is like people are finally fed up and and they're saying it's just, they get on the writing, they get on all kinds of stuff, and I go, objectively, I disagree. I can't see this as a piece of shit movie. And I have some nitpicks about some of the writing, but generally speaking, I still think it is a decent compromise, is what I was saying in our video, between the source material, which is much more complex and longer, but a compromise between that, turning it into its own story and tying it into the DCU at large, I think very successfully. And it has a point. It actually has a theme, and I didn't think it was badly handled at all. And I think Craig Gillespie is a really good director. I've liked everything he's done, including this, especially the emotional beats in this movie land. So calling it an absolute piece of shit, like one of the cinema's worst films, I don't even get. There are people saying, it's like, I thought the 1984 Supergirl movie was bad. I'm like, and it is. No offense to the people in it. Again, I thought Helen Slater was delightful. She was in a terrible, terrible movie. Yeah. So I sit there going, yeah, these are people, and I'm not going to say they're all Snyder Bros, but that certainly is an element. Yeah. There's certainly an element of that to it. And I'm sitting there going, you're saying this is horribly written. And we live in a universe where we had big budgeted superhero movies that had stuff like, your mother's name is Martha? Did you say Martha? I mean, come on. You know, anytime they're like going, finally they realize a gun doesn't know what he's doing. He produced the film. He didn't direct it. But you also start going like, okay, all right. So you'd rather have the capering Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor going, would you like a lemon head? Would you want a little piece of candy? Huh? You rather have your big jar of piss? It is not a 1-to-1, I know. But there are people that were fine with that and thought that is really good superhero cinema, and that this is terrible. And I don't even
that makes no sense. And there are a lot of people who are hating on Anna Nagura, the screenwriter for this,
right? And she's working on the Wonder Woman script.
So they need to fire the writer, they need to fire the director, and it's like, okay, number one, don't agree. but also James Gunn, he greenlit this script. He was raving about the script years before this movie came out. He loved it. So you wouldn't think that this is some kind of undercooked thing.
Well, I don't know if that's an argument that's going to convince anybody, because a lot of people see this as also Gunn's fault. So if he loves her, then they're like going, that just is proof that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm talking about people who are targeting her as the problem. There was a huge team around this, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I would say I don't agree that the script is bad to begin with.
And there was studio that. Even Gunn and Safran are at the whims of the studio. The studio will still give notes.
This actually, Gunn does have a lot of autonomy.
He does have a lot of autonomy, but
this was one of the things that they were saying in Screen Crush, is that this was the DCU does not. They do a lot of audience testing and stuff like that, but there is not a lot of interference from WB heads with what they're doing. And they said that this, one of the reasons why, if you think this movie is undercooked, one of the reasons why might be that there wasn't studio interference, that there wasn't enough. Check it. I don't know about that either, but
I am very curious about the excised, stuff from the movie. But I would say that about any movie.
But he said that many times. That was one of his requirements for accepting this job, is that you guys leave me alone. let us do our own thing. That was a stipulation of accepting this job. He said that a lot, that there's no DC Studios is the studio. He is the studio. He and Safran are the studio.
Well, then the cuts that were made were their own decision, but I still want to know what that stuff is.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's my curiosity. I want to see it.
Of course. I agree too. I think that this is the thing I've been thinking about too, with a lot of things, a lot of the criticisms that people are leveling at this film. That Superman, and these are people who love Superman too, in many occasions. Superman was not a perfect movie. No. I love Superman, but I have a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
Little. I wouldn't even say they're little problems. Some of them are like, dude, why did you do that sort of thing? But I'm not going to sit here and say worst movie ever.
They did Jor-El dirty.
Yeah. Well, also, there were some. I do think they cut way too much out of that movie too. It's a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit,
yeah.
choppy.
I referred to both as Shaggy Dog movies, and that's not me making a joke about crypto. I mean, they're both, and I've always enjoyed that about James Gunn, including Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, is that he's an idiosyncratic filmmaker
Mm-hmm.
where it's personal and generally speaking has a great grasp of story and emotion. At the same time, his stuff is all kind of that. It's a little bit janky. There's rough edges around all of his
Yeah.
movies, and I don't mind that at all. They don't come out completely smooth, slick, and
No, and
perfect.
there were some weird things with Superman too, like a couple of scenes. One of which was in the where Lex Luthor and the Engineer and Ultraman break into the fortress,
Yeah,
where there was some really awkwardly written exposition in
yeah,
that scene. It happened a couple other times in the movie too. Is like this is not normal for James to have exposition that is that bad.
yeah.
It took me out of the movie in those moments, But I've forgiven those moments because the rest of the movie is so fun and so rewarding. Very rarely do you have a script that's absolutely perfect,
Yeah.
whether you think it's flawed or not.
And in any film, there are things, and it's a very subjective, but some things a lot of people will agree on, where you go, "Oh, awkward. This doesn't quite work." But it's almost per person when you're a film fan, positives versus negatives. If you walk out and you really enjoyed it, it just means that the positives were so strong that you
Yeah,
forgave it its
exactly.
sins.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as a perfect film.
No.
The thing about critics who are very smug, I mean, and using Citizen Kane as an example, I love that. That is not me like, oh, it's just stock that you say that you love Citizen Kane. I do. When I was a teenager, it was the first time I watched it, and I was like, everyone says it's the greatest movie. I got to check it out. And then I'm like, oh my god, I love it. I've bought it in every format. I can quote huge chunks of it. I love that movie, and I can still nitpick Citizen Kane. There's still plenty of things I'm like, yeah, this didn't work. Yeah,
Yeah.
that. But and so can critics, because the whole thing of any grand statement of worth, there is nothing perfect in this world, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't say an absolute about anything.
Yeah.
Literature, any kind of art, and get everyone on board. Not everyone's going to be on board. There are people that go see the Mona Lisa and go, "Oh yeah, geez, kind of small. Yeah, I don't. She's not very attractive."
Right.
And look, that's
Yeah.
fine. The whole thing is,
Yeah.
it's fine. We can't all be in agreement. It's just,
Sure.
our backs go up, the hackles are up because they're not just stating their opinion, they're stating that they are the authority
Mm-hmm.
and we are stupid
Right.
for liking something. And that, yeah, again, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Also, the thing about us being shills, if we are, I am
I
living.
wish. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting me real cheap.
I honestly wish that was the case.
I honestly wish that were the case. We have never had Mr. Gunn on our podcast.
Yeah.
We may never be able to go to a press junket and meet the stars of blah, blah, blah. And even if we did, and this isn't me like, well, I'm untouchable. That wouldn't buy my opinion. It just wouldn't buy my opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know you're hearing stuff outside the window. I can't
Yeah.
help it.
That's right.
Stop it.
It wouldn't be P-Seps at this point without the neighborhood chiming
I'm
in.
doing my podcast and I don't know why you're beeping. Okay.
So we had a lot of really wonderful comments from people when we put our review. It started when I had the immediate reaction, but then even more so when we did our spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
Which has gotten, by the way, over 7,000 views now, which for our channel our size is really good. And that's actually more views than we got on our non-spoiler Superman review a year ago. So there is a lot of interest in this film.
This is a hot button movie.
It is. And we've gotten more. The growth in subscribers over the past 5 days has been greater than anything that's happened this year.
We're almost to 7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
it's
close.
A huge spike in subscribers for us. So yeah, it's good eating comic book world right now. I'm really enjoying all the new fans, all the new people that we're finding. You are our people and welcome. I'm really happy to have you here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who said, oh God, thank you so much for posting this. I was really worried about this. And then they come back. They'll say, because they hadn't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
Then they come back and say, you're right, we loved it. And some of them
Yeah.
say, it was good. It was, I wouldn't say it was terrible, but it was, I good and enjoyed it. None of them are coming back and saying, you were wrong. It's trash. And this one comment was amazing. Really good example. This guy, I'm not sure how to pronounce his username. It's like Jurley or something. But he comes in and he said, no joke. Days ago, I got a ticket to see this movie, and I did see all the negative reviews, and I canceled the ticket.
Whoa.
This morning, your video showed up in my recommended, and I decided to buy the ticket again. Went in with low expectations. Oh, man, I dug the film. Like you, I enjoyed it more than Superman. This had a lot of grit and heart. I have no idea what those other reviewers are talking about. It's a shame they'll influence a lot of people into not seeing it, like they did me before I saw your video. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like we, as reviewers, we have, some people don't realize how much power you have over people's decisions. If you're gleefully trashing something just because you're having fun trashing it, try to be a little bit more balanced in what you're saying, because people do it's a hard time. People don't have a lot of money to spend. I know I fucking don't.
Oh, so yeah.
This guy, he canceled his ticket. I don't blame him. I would probably do the same thing if we didn't have the channel. I don't know if I would have spent the money on it. In fact, it was a miracle I was actually able to afford it at all. Yeah, and I know you're only able to go because John bought you the ticket.
Yeah,
so times are tough,
guys,
man.
we're poor. I mean, yes. don't pity us, but that's the thing, is we are certainly not chills, and we go out of the love of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I will say that is a great thank you, however you pronounce your name, and the point is well taken, as in, and you brought that up. I think that box office is so low, not because people weren't curious, but there was a negative sentiment from the first trailer that kept building, and warnings and people gleefully saying that's going to open lower than, fill in the blank. It's going to be lower than anything. It's going to do the kind of numbers that, and that negativity does influence people. It's weird that people will sit there and go, I was thinking of going, but every one of these videos is saying that it's a piece of shit. I guess I won't see for myself. Or a lot of people might wait. I mean, I wonder if like the Rotten Tomatoes score, audience score will go up once it hits streaming, and people like, oh, I'll give it a shot, and then realize, oh, people thought this was bad. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I do think people stayed away. So that's not really accurate. You look at box office, but I will say that's true of any movie. Box office is truly not that accurate. And especially in a world where people are having their opinions made for them by people with loud voices saying, don't waste your money or your time. And I'm so glad I occasionally just will try something. The thing is, I am an adventurous film goer. I will take chances on things, even when people, even the broad, discourse is, this is not good. Or sometimes the discourse is, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then I watch it and I go, sliced bread's better.
And this reminds me a lot of when Dial of Destiny came out, and we were in a similar kind of position, although there just wasn't as much buzz about that film as there is this one, which was sad. But it was interesting to me because we seemed to be under like everybody was like, are you crazy? It's terrible. But I went and looked at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes the other day because I was curious about, just in light in comparison to this, because people in the comments were comparing this situation to Dial of Destiny. People who like the movie were saying that, but I was like, yeah, man, totally agree. But I went and looked at the critics ratings, and the audience ratings are much higher than this. Critics gave Dial of Destiny a good ratings.
It's clearly not predictable. You can have a character like Indiana Jones who is just in our consciousness. Everyone loves Indiana Jones, but that movie thudded and don't understand, because it was well made and it was lovingly made and it's satisfied.
Not without its faults. But
not without its faults.
Great fun, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it is another thing where it's like, hello? Is this on? And with Supergirl, it has been much more energized, but not in a good way. And you also had the low blows, the people who are immediately hopping on it when the trailers start because of whatever, a needle drop. Oh, of course, it's a James Gunn thing. And they're like, he didn't direct it. But then they're like, oh, and they want to attack the looks of this actress. And you're like, what?
Yeah, and that's just not,
no.
That's not acceptable. I'm sorry.
You're wrong. She's very attractive, but also shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, watch the movie, judge the movie after you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just sit there going like, I saw the tie-in meal at KFC and I decided I was not going to go watch it. What? I saw that commercial for the thing with the day.
There are a lot of people. There's the people who were expecting it to be just like the comic, which
yes,
I sympathize with you, but
which I think the trailers let you know it wasn't going to be. But
we've known since it was announced that this is going to be woven into the DCU. It was never going to be a 1-to-1 port from comic. And really, when does that ever happen? Anyway, I think Watchmen may be the only time that that's But even that wasn't all the way there,
and that held it back from being. It still made a major change at the end, but other than that,
and I would love to see like a completely just art film, true to Bilquis Evely, her work. That would be wonderful to see.
That'd be wonderful.
But that's not what they're planning to do here. I will say just quickly before I say what I was going to say, I do think there may be an issue here of maybe a little bit more responsibly managing fans' expectations with regards to that, because we know that Gunn has kind of slipped up on this before. We've complained about it when Peacemaker season 2 came out, and he was hyping the fuck out of the last couple episodes, and everybody's going, "Oh wow, it could be this and this and this." And it turned out to be just his favorite band having a full performance of the theme song was the main thing that he was excited about, and also a big emotional scene, which was valid, but it wasn't what people were thinking based on what he was hyping.
Right.
And I thought that was his genuine excitement about what he was working on. But there's a little bit of a disconnect between his excitement and what fans are going to interpret. And in the case of this comic, and it's great that he's putting the comics out there. No other studio has done this before. I think the comic sales have gone up because of what he's done. And there's more light being shown on the comic. Even with the criticism, there's a silver lining to all of this, that more people are thinking and talking about the comic. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But maybe it should have been stated early on. This isn't an exact, we're taking the story, but it's not going to be just like the comic.
But that's the thing, is I think he did a good job on that.
I think he did too. But
I think that he was like going, the second I read that, I was like, well, that's a movie right there. We should really adapt this.
Yeah.
But then I had seen him in interviews, across the months as leading up to the movie, him going like, it was a great touchstone. It was like, that was our starting place. It was like, it was a good way to introduce her to DCU and let you know she's not a carbon copy of her cousin. All of that, he's essentially saying that was our starting point.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he could have been like, it will not be narrated by Ruthie. It won't be all like bright colored stuff, and it's going to fit in our universe that we're building, and da. He might have been able to manage expectations better, but that's still a pretty small percentage of that audience. We're hearing a lot from them because we're also comics readers and fans of the stuff, so we're hearing from those people. But I don't know if they need to cater so much to the smallest percentage, which is the people who've actually read them.
I'm kind of doing a benefit of a doubt thing, because there are so many people in the comments who've been saying that I feel for you. And
it's totally legit. Yeah. If you went to the movie specifically because you're a fan of Tom King and I'll massacre her name, their work, then you'll probably be a little disappointed. Though I'm still impressed with how much of it is there. And I think that actress who plays Ruthie is amazing. And even if I go back and read the comic, I mean, I'll put her face on it because I thought she was just dead on.
So what that was leading into some of the other disappointment I've seen in the comments, of people thinking that this was going to be like the TV show, the Melissa Benoist TV show.
And even that was not that wasn't the Supergirl from the comics either.
No, because they basically turned her. It was even worse than the Plain Jane original version. They turned her into a female version of Clark.
Distaff Superman, literally, with her being a reporter, wearing glasses. You know,
Right.
I was like, oh, really?
Perfect example of what Gunn did not want to do. He didn't want to have her be just like exactly like her cousin and having the same life issues and the same job and all that stuff. But people did love that show, and they were expecting this to be like that. It's like, because it's the same character.
Then that also means that they didn't watch a single trailer, because any trailer would let you know it's not that. Yeah. However, that's not me dumping. If you're a fan of the Supergirl TV show, that's great. But yeah, that was going to be a different version. She was just going to be a different version, no escaping. And no offense to the fans of Melissa. And I mean, 7 seasons?
It was on for a while.
That's really impressive. I really only would tune in when they did like the big crossover events, because I was like, oh, and then I was always impressed with her. I was like, she looks great, and she plays superheroine well.
I enjoyed the first couple of seasons, and the main reason why I think that show was worthwhile, not just because of her. She did a great job playing the character from what she was given, but also that show gave us Tyler Hoechlin as Superman.
Yeah.
And so that was
Superman and Lois, that was one I was really late to, because the CW shows were always a mixed bag for me. Then of course they became the WB whatever. Yeah. But they were all mixed bag. And then Superman and Lois, I came to it late and was like, oh no, people are right. It's really good for its budget and for
it's good. It's the best by far.
Yeah, I mean,
best
even
CW
though
show.
I was always like, I don't really want.
But even that's not perfect.
I liked Stargirl a lot.
Yeah.
I liked Stargirl, and I liked Doom Patrol, and I liked Swamp Thing that they gave absolutely no chance to.
Oh, God, Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I've forgotten about that. I love that show.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like they were starting to hit their stride, and then it's just all gone. And if that's the price we pay for getting James Gunn in to say, like, I will captain the ship, I'm still all about it. And hopefully Warner Brothers isn't sitting there like going, you dudes let us down. That's me doing Warner Brothers, by the way. That's an impression.
Yeah.
You dudes let us down. No one's going to see Supergirl.
I think, like I've been saying in the comments, I think it's going to have long legs. It has clearly already has a lot of fans, and it may not be doing very well at the box office right now, but I think the film is going to stand the test of time, and these haters will eventually go away.
Oh, I don't think this will be buried. Yeah.
No, it's going to, because it's tying into the whole DCU thing. And one thing I will say, even the skeptical critics say, well, was it okay? All of them agree that the stuff with her and Superman was just gold, and the Krypton sequences were gold. And those are the bigger.
Surprised me how many people didn't like Lobo though.
Yeah. There seems to be a 50% division on that almost.
What's interesting is some of that comes from, again, some of that is coming from people who are very familiar with the comic, but not familiar enough to know that Lobo was originally supposed to be in it. In the comic. So in a weird way, it was the screenwriter going like, oh no, that is perfect. Mm-hmm. But people were arguing over, I saw one person saying there either needed to be more of Lobo, he needed to be more important in it, or he shouldn't have been in it at all. It was like they needed to either have a lot less or a lot more, but the amount of Lobo in the story is distracting and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, guys. I mean, yeah, maybe. I loved every time he was on screen. And I never felt like he was overshadowing Supergirl. I never felt like it was the Lobo show.
Yeah.
I always was like, oh, I can't wait to see how he will interact with Ruthie. And him and Ruthie were great. And Kara with Ruthie was great. And Kara with Lobo was great. And he isn't incredibly integral. It's true that you could have cut him out of the entire movie without really affecting the story.
Absolutely.
But why would you?
But why would you want to do that?
When you get an entertaining...
It's so much fun.
He's an entertaining side character. Yeah. And any movie is improved by having an entertaining side character.
For me, like I said, my replies to one of the people is like, for me, it added to the world building. Seeing people are criticizing this too, that it was a little bit of expository dialogue when Kara goes, "Oh no, it's Lobo." And she explains his backstory to Ruthie. It was like, well, that's what she would do if he walked into the bar.
That's what she would do for someone who isn't an intergalactic traveler. And Ruthie has lived on her homeworld the entire time.
That wasn't bad dialogue. I know everybody wants to crap on the dialogue.
That's not bad dialogue.
That made sense in the moment.
And also, that's smart screenwriting simply because, yes, a big percentage of the audience might be very familiar with Lobo because they're comic nerds. But there are plenty of people out there who've never cracked a comic.
Exactly.
And you want them to know it's like, no, he's an established character and he's a little bit of a wild card. So watch out. That's just letting us know who he is. I thought that was well done.
I love that moment too, because it showed how street smart Kara is.
I really think her writing was really smart, and I will back her, and I'm happy she's doing Wonder Woman, and I hope it ends up being great. It might stink in the end, who knows? But in the meantime, I don't think Supergirl's an example of bad writing. It
just isn't, guys. I'm sorry.
It just isn't. I'm going to... There's stuff that I would have tweaked, like I said, softening some of the repetitive, like, you guys get the point of the story, right? You get the point? Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But that's... no, she did
every movie. Like we keep saying, I mentioned this too in a comment to somebody, that the masterpiece, the best Superman, still, in my opinion, the best Superman movie of all time, Richard Donner's Superman the movie.
Yep. And it's
riddled with plot holes, silly little plot holes and stuff that that would get torn to pieces. Now, if that movie came out today, it would get torn to shreds.
Yeah, probably would. It probably would.
But we love it. We prop it up because it started all of this.
Yeah, it would. You're right. So it never occurred to me, but yes.
If you haven't seen, Brendan and I have a whole series of breakdown videos of every single Superman movie.
Even the ones that really hurt.
Yeah. And we started off with Superman the movie, and we tear into it.
Yeah.
We nitpick the fuck out of it, while at the same time showering it with praise, because we love that movie.
Because within 5 minutes of watching, get all teary.
It is my number one favorite movie of all time, still.
It's in my top 5. It's in my top 5. We do appreciate discourse. Converse with us. If you say you didn't like it, which you're totally in your right to not like it, but we'd like to know why. And those of you who did like it, tell other folks too, and tell them why you liked it. And we're not shilling, but I think this movie is failing and doesn't deserve to. I don't believe it deserves to bottom out.
Totally does not deserve it.
So I just want people to be able to go and enjoy what I thought was a really solid superhero movie. Not the top of my list of superhero movies, but good and enjoyable considering some that I've seen and aren't so good. But anyway, that's our opinion. We liked it, and a lot of you did too. We love hearing about it, and a lot of you didn't. But don't be a troll. Just don't be a troll where you come in saying you're dumb because you da-da-da. Because I'm not going to come out and say you're dumb because you thought it was awful. There's a weird thing on the internet. Let's all be cool and not superior. Let's just talk. There you go. That's my plea.
All right.
And on that note, bye.
Thanks, y'all. What is your number one? I forget.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane, really?
Citizen Kane. Like my top 5 is like Citizen Kane and Raiders. Superman the movie. I would have to go back on Letterboxd. It does change. Oh, Dr. Strangelove.
Oh,
is
cool.
Definitely in there.
That's a good call.
I love Dr. Strangelove.
Mine are all nerd. It's Superman. It's Star Wars.
And Brazil. Wait, I think
Brazil. Brazil's
in
my top 5. Yeah, I think that's definitely one thing that we share. By the way, we have a great video about Brazil. Terry Gilliam's Brazil. Go and watch that.
But no one watches anything.
Nobody watches.
No one watches anything if we're not talking about Superman. Which I'm fine talking about Superman all day long, and I am wearing my Otis shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm always down for that, but it is interesting. We are known as the Superman guys, so I'm like, no one wants to watch us talk about Night Stalker or Hello, and no one's a fan of us. Always follow the P.